but all the instruction in the world would have been useless without someone to train on. While Trina... Oh my fucking god. While Trina herself was a submissive, Holly Vega didn't want to encourage the sisters from getting together. Holly did have a line she wished not to cross. I'm so glad that incest is not okay.
I gotta say that it does sort of imply that they did go to places and like, okay, so no incest, but like, did Holly Vega help Tori find a previous? No, help Tori find a previous sub to practice on
while she was a minor.
Yeah, I guess.
This story is a nightmare already.
Grab some popcorn and stick around. We've got some garbage to talk about.
Hi, Rogue.
Hey, Zax.
Hi, Karina.
Hey, Zax. Hey, Rogue.
Hi, Karina.
Hi,
one of my top livers?
Yeah, you were sitting down. I didn't see you.
Ghouls, gals, and gays, welcome to Bob.
Yeah, thanks. That's how we're going to start the new podcast.
Yeah.
Great.
Good. Okay, but this is a special occasion. It has been a while since we've gone over some fan fiction. I believe our last was Shadow's Son.
And we never recovered.
What a joy that was.
There's been a reason it's took us so long to get back into the fan fiction game.
So we've covered parenting, we've covered body horror, kidnapping, lots of things that people do. But now, not to... How to explain this? We're gonna look at this weird take on BDSM through Victorious the show,
of all
I guess.
Things.
Now, like, lots of fanfics are out there. A lot of them have like some spicy, zesty chapters. But there, as we go through, you'll notice that this hits different.
Ugh.
Oh.
I gotta say, it's a common thing to note that certain shows from this period of time, created by some mysterious creator who shall not be named, had some weird quirks to them, let's say. And, a lot of times when you read a fanfic that's like very kinky, you might be like, oh, they really got something different. No. I think this author understood what was being put onto the screen. This is the intended read.
That mystery creator who shall not be named was like, yeah, this is it. He was going to
revive the show based on this.
Finally, somebody who understands my art.
Yeah.
So, but I will say this is better than the Billie Eilish story because at least Jade and Tori are fictional characters.
Yeah.
So it's not, the same as the terrible things the writer.
It's not character assassination on a real person.
Like, on one hand, I hope Billie Eilish never finds out, but I also feel like...
What the hell?
About, just that. But I would also really be curious to know her opinion on it.
I'm sure she feels very comfortable about that.
I'm sure she's like, yes, my fans, please write fan fiction about me being a horrible, abusive person.
Who's smelly? That's my biggest issue. Like, why you gotta, I don't know, make her... It always talks about her like she's so,
What?
in the thick.
No, I'm not asking you to clarify. Just... let my what simmer while we get on with this story.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is The Real Me.
Yeah.
By Quitting Time.
It's about quitting time.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, everybody. See you next week.
It's an easy joke. I'm sorry.
Jade thought she knew all there was about the happy, sweet Tori Vega. But in the end, not only did she not know Tori, but Jade didn't know herself very well. Something Tori was more than happy to show her. An adult-themed Jory story. Okay.
Can I read this disclaimer?
Yeah, sure.
Stop and author's note.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, the show Victorious, its characters, and other associated copyrights are property of someone else and not me. The real me. And I think that's supposed to be the title and not just like a point of clarification as part of the disclaimer. Then, Chapter 1, The Tattoo. A.N. This is an experimental story with very adult themes. It won't be terribly long, just a few chapters. Both Tori and Jade are 18 years old.
Of age of consent. We'd love to see it. By the way, word count, 82,000.
Jesus Christ.
Chapters.
Just a few.
27.
You had to scroll down to get to the bottom.
Yeah, this story, when they say this is an experimental story, they saw this experiment through.
But
What?
to be...
What does that even
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I wasn't sure either until I got to, like, the end of the story, and then I was like, I see how that was an experiment. You really were just playing around with the ideas, and you wanted to see if you could make a decent story out of it, and I don't know if you did.
It's an experiment in the reader's ability to
It's an
push
experiment.
themselves.
It's
The
an
social
experiment in
experiment.
taste.
Yeah. Like,
So as
how much can we take? It's an experiment for us. Will this be the story where we tap out?
Well, yeah, if we don't finish... there's definitely stuff I want to see. And and after this, like, inaugural reading, well,
We'll be
there's
skipping ahead a little bit.
a lot of it.
Oh, who's ready for this?
Alright, this is no one's POV, or no one's pop, sorry.
Tori and Jade arrived at the tattoo parlor 2 minutes to 9, just as it was about to close. Don't do that. If an establishment
No.
is about to close, don't go in.
It's fine. It looks like she's friends with them.
Yeah.
The sign says open, I'm going in.
We are one sentence into the story.
I will admit I am guilty of this, but there's this one sushi place that like closed at 9, but I thought it closed at 10, and I got there at like 8:50 or something, thinking like, oh, it had plenty of time. I saw chairs up, and I walked in, and I was like, oh, and I started to back out slowly, but they were like, no, it's fine. Like, what do you want? And I was like, oh, thanks.
I'll
That's
do you one
sweet.
better. I went to an African restaurant that it's one of those places I was passing frequently and going like, I should go there sometime. I was like, fine, I'll go there. Turns out they were closing an hour early that day, but I walked in, and I did not know that, and they never told me until I was walking out the door, and I saw a sign that said, like, we're closing at 7. And I'm looking at my watch, and it's like 8:30, and I'm like, ugh!
I'm
so sorry. The food was great, though.
They were like, oh,
yeah.
we like you.
And then I never went there again.
Couldn't show your face there again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As the bell rang indicating that they had arrived, a head popped out from the back.
Oh, hi, Tori. Right on time. I was expecting you. Let me close up and we can get started.
A moment later, a woman with very short black hair, blue jeans, and a Slayer t-shirt came around the corner. She was muscular and had tattoos almost everywhere, save for her neck and face. A common first impression made of her was that she was a butch lesbian, which in this particular case was very correct.
What a
Very correct.
You have to put like 2 okay signs and like pop them out repeatedly for very correct.
Very butch
Very
and
correct.
very lesbian.
With a warm smile, she walked past Tori and Jade, locked the door, and turned off the open sign.
I'm already Tori. Come on.
Thanks, Kim. I appreciate you working late for me.
Tori said, as she and Jade followed Kim into the back room. In the back room, there is a table and the various instruments that the tattoo artist would use.
Flutes, cellos, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And then
This is an open
Random
quote, but
open
it's
quote.
not. It's supposed to be the narrator still.
Kim sat down in a chair next to the table and made a quick check of the equipment.
How's your mom? I haven't seen her at the club in a while.
She's fine. She's been busy, but hopes to come back soon.
Kim then
The
turned her
tattoo
attention.
club? The tattoo club?
You'll see. They'll go into more detail about what kind of club this
Oh,
is.
okay.
This person has thought through this story completely.
So it's not an experiment.
No. The experiment is with taste. It's an experiment in whether indecency. Okay? But the ideas have all... It's a very tightly knit, woven story. There is not one loose thread. Unless there are a bunch I missed.
Just the plot goes out the window at some point. Kim then turned her attention to look at Jade, who stood there with a neutral expression.
Is this Jade, your...
Yes.
Tori answered quickly, and then the same line from before.
Oh, she's nice. I approve.
Thank you.
Kim looked up.
I'm ready. Do you have the design?
Tori pulled out a sheet of paper from her purse and handed it to Kim. The tattoo artist looked at it with some amusement.
I like it. It's simple, but very nice. Where you instructed me to put it?
Yes.
Kim looked to Jade.
Okay, Jade. Expose that skin of yours and get on the table and we'll start.
Not saying a word, Jade did as she was told, and within a minute she was ready for the procedure. As someone who's gotten a tattoo before, this isn't like... This is not good.
No.
Well, I mean... No. I mean, when she gets out the scalpel and starts cutting, you'll know that's when it's not good.
When she
That's
puts on
not
her black
normal.
executioner's hood.
Yeah.
Kim took a quick look at the design and got to work. Tori grabbed a stool and with a rather satisfied look watched as Jade got her tattoo. As she did, she thought back to how this all had started. Woo, 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 woo,
Begin
woo,
flashback.
Flashback, woo.
I'm very excited.
Okay.
So
Actually, this... do you mind if I do the narration here, actually?
Yeah,
because
go
this
for it.
is like a lot of non-dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so... and it'll be easier for everybody. Okay. Since that first day at Tori Vega... Wait, what? Since that first day at Tori Vega arrived at Hollywood Arts, Jade made every effort to make her life a living hell. It started the first day when Tori spilled coffee on Beck and rubbed him. From there, it continued. From day to day, it was mostly insults, put-downs, and an aloofness that the goth showed to the Latina. Little break. Don't like contrasting goth and Latina.
To be
They're both
fair,
an aesthetic.
Yeah.
it's not, and this
Oh,
isn't.
God!
This isn't unique to this author. The more like Jory fics you read, they always because I guess they got tired of saying like the brunettes or the blacks
both-
because like
the
and
Jade.
this is the classic problem with gay anything is like it's like, wait, if she did that to her, she did it to
Oh, yeah.
herself. I gotta differentiate whose leg is where.
Oh,
This
I
is
already
why
said
I-
their
Latina.
names. I'm so
The pronoun
confused.
confusion.
This is why I hate people with pronouns.
Yeah,
Of course you have blue hair and pronouns.
I guess.
Let's see who cancels who, you woke
Yeah,
moralist.
moralist.
We'll see who
We'll
can.
see who cancels who.
That's so
Woke
It's not
I
easy
wanna-
being green.
But I will say, given the context of this story, I don't know.
No, come on.
No, like,
What?
I was going to say that, like, I think I don't like that she has to be the Latina, especially
Yeah.
because if you watch the show, although it's weird too, in the show sometimes she would just randomly be like, I'm half Latina. And I was like, shut up, go away, revoked. But like,
You're half Latina.
I know, that's why I have that right.
Okay.
There's that
But-
clip of Alexa Demi. Why does everybody keep asking if I'm Latina? Isn't it obvious? I love her, unironically.
Yeah, she is pretty great. Okay, back to this.
Jade would tell anyone who asked that she hated the Latina for stealing her parts and just being a goody-goody in general. Yet through all this, Tori rarely got upset about it. In fact, Tori made every effort to be nice to Jade and win her friendship. I don't know if that's entirely true. The characters on that show are horrible to everyone.
I know.
To everyone.
Yeah.
That only spurred Jade on more. But deep down, Jade could never quite figure out why she felt the need to be so mean to Tori. Not that she cared about the reason much, she didn't. She just kept going.
It's not like I like you or anything.
Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't always insults, of course. Jade would play pranks on Tori from time to time. One day, Tori found her locker glued shut. Another day, she started to get calls from random guys who all asked for a woman named Cindy, who, from what Tori gathered, was a call girl. Tori had to change her number shortly after. There were more, of course, and some rather elaborate. Tori has no idea how Jade got her on the no-fly list.
That's a hate crime, I feel like.
Maybe? I don't know.
I don't know what she did to do that.
Let me say, it's not that hard to get on the no-fly list. I was on the no-fly list for a little while.
What did you do?
By mistake.
What'd you
By
do?
mistake. There was a person who was a known associate of some unsavory folks with my first and last name. He's dead now.
Oh.
I made sure of that.
No, don't say that on here.
For
By
legal reasons,
checking.
we're joking.
Oh.
Hee hee.
With the bullets.
Okay.
It slowly began to bug Jade more and more that the Latina wouldn't get upset, run away, or cry. In fact, it bothered Jade so much that after one particularly nasty insult, which was ignored, Jade pulled Tori aside.
Vega, why in the hell do you just smile and be all nice to me? Can't you see I'm trying to make your life a living hell, yet you just smile and shrug off all my efforts?
Jade said, sounding rather frustrated. Tori made an enigmatic smile. No open quote.
I know.
What's your deal, Vega? What did you hit your head once too often as a kid?
No, Jade. It's quite simple, actually. I like you.
Jade's face seemed to fall.
What?
Yes, I like you. You're a very interesting person. And I'm letting you dig yourself in deeper.
Tori said rather cryptically before walking off.
I wasn't finished, Vega.
Jade barked
Oh,
as
sorry, I
Tori
should've barked
wandered
that.
off.
Bark, bark.
Oof.
Arf, arf.
I also like that Tori doesn't, like, walk away.
Wandered
She
off.
wanders off. That kind of makes it seem like she's lost.
She hasn't been at the school for very long. She doesn't know the layout yet.
No. Tori didn't bother to look back.
But I am. Bye, Jade.
After that, Jade seemed to intensify her efforts, with more insults and pranks. Yet Tori continued so smile and even was nicer to Jade. That in itself drove Jade totally buggo. Is that a
Whoa.
thing people say?
I've never heard it on a Schneider show, but it sounds
On
like
a what
it could
show?
be. Oh, I mean, on an
Schneider's
unnamed
hot
show.
dogs. That's who wrote the show.
That's also
The
bad.
hot dog.
I've never
That's,
heard it on
again, that is true and also bad.
I've never seen it on a Schlotsky original.
Schlotsky.
Cool, thank you.
Okay.
Even, that's what we call them. Even Beck would remark from time to time about Jade's odd, unexplained obsession with the Latina. Jade
Already,
would
I
always
hate
It's too. It's you did it like once. We got it. Like I don't know. Just say like
You got it. They say Jade every time.
yeah.
If-
They haven't said
Or
God.
just say the girl.
If
Like, we
Tori
know-
was like,
Ugh.
if Tori was any
Yeah.
other ethnicity, what would they say?
That
black.
diversity.
The Asian.
Yeah, they would say the Asian. I don't think they'd say the Indian.
They might
because
say
I think-
African American, maybe.
Yeah, that would be real weird too. But yeah, I think they would.
Oh, that's clunkier. But like, yeah, the person of color.
The POCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The person of color, not Andre.
The BIPOC
other one.
individual.
Other person of color.
Oh God, just I don't know. I guess maybe they just don't like the name Tori. Maybe that's the
What about
issue.
what about instead of the person of color, her person of color?
Oh,
Oh.
Christ.
Bad?
No,
Okay,
that's not
keep
accurate
going.
because we're gonna find out later in the story.
Also, she's dating a person of color
Yeah.
who still wouldn't be her person of color, but would be closer to it. The racism was almost right.
Yeah.
Jade would always tell her boyfriend to shut up and then not discuss it any further. Finally, Jade decided to knock the happy little Latina down a few pegs.
See, this feels more racist now.
Yeah. Like, the fact... I don't know if there is a right way to... I don't know.
Don't write like this, people.
Yeah, I don't have a remedy for this, but like the more we keep talking about this Latina that we're so mad at for being happy and living
here's the
her
thing.
life.
I'll tell you what the problem is. Where we're having a problem. The fact that the narrator is telling us and using words to describe how, basically trying to give us a sense of how Jade feels about her, and talking about how much she finds Tori annoying or whatever. By continually circling back to Latina makes it seem like she has a real racial problem with Tori.
Yeah.
Right? But if she had said, like, knock the happy little singer down a few pegs, then it would be like, okay, Jade might have a problem because she's, like, jealous of her singing ability. Or she might think, like, oh, she's always so happy. And she look at her, that little, you know, and, like, trying to struggle to find a word, and then the word you stumble on is Latina. It just goes...
You're like, are you racist, Jade?
Are you for real right now? Like, what the hell just happened? She came up with an idea and put her plan into motion. Hollywood Arts, from time to time, had assemblies where various students would show off their talents. It was a chance to show what you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a chance to show what you could do to your fellow students.
Only
if
from
they
time to
mess
time.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you could
What
do
you
to
can
them
do
if
to
they
them.
mess with you. Yeah. In the latest one, Tori was chosen to perform along with several others. When it was her turn to perform, Tori got up on stage and began to sing a happy pop song that she had written. The performance went very well, with the audience quickly enjoying the song. I like that they quickly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's
Get
nice.
to it.
wasn't
Enjoy
It
this.
wasn't a slow burn performance.
Hey, you were looking for your next hit? Listen to this!
Yeah.
But about a minute into the performance, a screen came down behind Tori, who didn't notice right away. Then a film came on of Tori, wearing her duck pajamas, hair all a mess, and no makeup, singing into her comb in her room.
Her comb.
Somehow, Jade managed to film Tori being a total goof in her room.
Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. People are gonna see me
Okay.
in my PJs.
Sorry. So put a pin in this, but I want us to really address what the crime is. Because like we said, you know, there are going to be punishments doled out, and I want you to tell me if you feel like it fits the crime.
Stalking.
So she
filming without consent.
I mean, if this is definitely not the worst footage you got, right? Like, because you have access to a camera in her room. I don't think I need to clarify any further.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right? I mean, I don't think anybody would be like, oh man, Jade, you're such a cool person for putting a secret camera in Tori's room.
The other thing I want to say too, though, is that this Tori here, this fun-loving gal with duck pajamas and messy hair, I don't know where the hell she goes. We're never gonna see her.
It was
again.
a ruse just for the person who was secretly filming her.
Yeah. Because, you know, now that I think about it...
Kind of like when I'm just walking around the house and I'm like, I see you, to nobody in particular, just in case someone's watching.
If there was a camera in her room, then Jade shouldn't really be surprised about everything she's gonna find out.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Alright, I was just piecing that together.
See, again, no loose threads. Tori was putting on a show for the person she did not know was filming her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Golly. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
continue.
Naturally, the audience burst out laughing.
Naturally.
Tori stopped
As anyone would.
Tori stopped in mid-song and turned around to see the source of the
Does that mean
amusement.
she was just holding the note because she was in mid-song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a belt.
What I What I think too, though, is like whenever I see things like this, like mob bullying or whatever, I'm always like, man, it's nice that I went to a school with, I guess, such decent people, because I've never seen, like, even like, you know, today at work, a kid actually like ripped their pants, and like a few kids laughed because it was like funny, but as soon as they saw he was not laughing along, they just stopped. Were like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, this
So like
really
I've never seen anything like this. So with the fact that it says naturally, as soon as you're not perfect,
Everyone point and laugh.
lose.
Like, especially when you're like a teenager, like if something awkward or embarrassing happens to somebody, you try really hard to mind your own business, because you, as a teenager, you're like, oh god, that's so embarrassing. Oh no.
Yeah. I think maybe it was like our parents' generation that had this, or it was at least in movies.
Definitely
from our
in
parents'
movies.
generation, you know. But like it never happened around my generation at all. Like when people were embarrassed about something, when something embarrassing happened to somebody, even if you didn't help in the situation, people didn't just stand around laughing.
Yeah.
Because it's like you feel like the cringe is too much when you're in person there.
Yeah, like my dad said, like this kind of stuff might have happened in like middle school, maybe. But like by high school, everyone's got this sort of thing out of their system, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the first time, Jade in the front row saw the Latina get mad. She stood there fuming at her ruined performance. A second later, Tori glared at Jade with intensity that rather surprised the goth. After the assembly was done, Jade was standing outside the auditorium, leaning up against a wall, her arms crossed and a smirk on her face. Tori came out and wordlessly grabbed Jade by the wrist and pulled her into the broom closet. Everybody knows what happens in a broom closet.
That's when you kiss.
You get... No, that's where you get cleaning supplies.
Oh.
What's wrong with you?
Sorry.
I will
Wait,
say, though...
You get sweats
yeah.
off your feet.
I like that. Nose goes to that one. Okay.
Karina, do you want to take over narrating?
Let's see, where...
Because this is dialogue again, so...
Okay.
I finally got to you.
Jade said triumphantly.
Yes, you did, Jade. No one fucks with one of my performances. It's time.
Tori barked out. Arf, arf.
Woof. Yeah.
Time for what? Run home and cry? Please do. I want to get this on film.
Jade said as she reached ingot her purse.
Wow.
Yeah, ingot. Yeah, like a
An
big iron ingot. Yeah.
She's playing
No,
the pig
Jade.
from Fallout 3. I need ingots.
No, Jade, your punishment. What you've been begging for since the day I've met you.
Jade burst out
Since
laughing.
the day I have met you.
Oh my god, Vega. You are something else.
Tori put her hands on her hips.
No, Jade, I'm serious. Since day one, you've been wanting me to punish you, discipline you, make you my slut.
I think this is on brand.
We're still at school.
In a broom
We're the
closet.
broom closet. Anything goes here.
Jade laughed even harder. Me too.
So let me get this right. You think I'm some sort of lesbian submissive pain freak? Wow, you got that from all of the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tori smirked.
I wouldn't put it exactly that way, but essentially, yes. I had you pegged as a lesbian submissive the day I laid eyes on you.
Pegged,
You,
get
on
it?
the other... You, on the other hand, though not aware of it, sensed I was a dominating personality and couldn't help but focus on me. Ever since then, you've been trying to get me to react.
Jade...
Still
I
not
think my
clicking.
siblings are
She's
fighting outside my room.
Oh no.
Oh no. Jade bent over with laughter.
Oh, this is rich. And let me guess. You are a dominatrix. Please, Please tell me you're a dominatrix. That would be so delicious. Can't wait to post it on the slap.
I misread that, and I thought it said the strap. I was like, what?
That would be great.
That'd be
I would
funny.
love it if they had.
They have like a kink part of social media on
Yeah,
it.
they have the slap, and then they have a subsection called the strap.
The subsection.
Ah!
Do they have a dom section too?
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's the strap.dom.
Yeah, that's the web domain. Oh, dome. That one didn't. This time Tori laughed, but for some reason Jane found it unnerving.
Bingo! You see, Jade, no dominatrix is complete without their sub, and no sub is complete without dominatrix.
Domatrix.
Domatrix.
Yeah.
That's my
It's a
favorite.
yin
The
yang.
lady from. No, that's the lady from Resident Evil, right? The big
Oh,
tall
yeah.
lady?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lady Domatrix?
Yeah. It's a yin yang sort of thing.
That's not what yin yang means.
Only when together are they truly happy.
Not.
I'll admit that the second I saw you, I was rather struck. I knew you had to be my sub. Much to my delight, you latched on to me right away, though you didn't realize quite why you found me worthy of your full attention. It's just that I wouldn't react in the way you really wanted. Deep down, that only drove your frustration. I'll admit it was so amusing. But today, you fucked with my performance. Now it's time for me to show you the discipline and control that you so desperately need. I know the real you, and you're going to love the real me.
Title
Oh
drop.
my god, we got a title drop.
We got a title drop, a big dramatic speech, although there was a lot of circling back on itself in that speech. But like, we got all that, right? This would be, I think, the perfect time for the chapter to end.
Yes.
But
Right?
the author
Big
said
title
no.
drop. And the author said no, and instead continued for like, what, how much more? Like another half?
A lot. Yeah,
God.
a lot. We're not.
Like, what? Why?
It's like, yeah, you can't like end on like you're gonna love the real me and then
Keep going.
just like this is already much more than was necessary.
Oh, I just looked down
Especially-
a little bit. Oh, Christ.
It's great.
Jade only laughed harder, appearing that she found this hysterically funny.
Every time we mention Jade for a little while here, she's just gonna keep laughing harder and harder.
Like, get the picture or don't, Jade. Like, leave the room
Jade,
or don't.
Read the goddamn room, please.
I mean, honestly, you really need to be like, if you really want to put this on the slap, you should be recording right now.
She's giving me. I know. First of all, you've gotten like one TikTok
What are you gonna
alone
do?
of any of the things Tori just said would be amazing.
Yeah, like why didn't you pull out your pear phone or whatever?
Not her ingot
take one of-
instead.
Yeah.
Take out your ingot and record it on your weird pear-shaped screen.
The other thing too, though, is like Jade right now isn't really giving me goth. She's giving me like 80s jock bully energy
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what the characterization is.
The
like.
author was trying to go for, like, brat, and, like,
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
they did it, but not in the way that, like, Jade in the show is.
It's like if Scott from Monster Prom was bad.
Oh, not Scott. Leave him out of this, please. Please, not him.
Anyone
Anyone
but
but
him.
him, not my big stupid himbo.
What are you going to do? Strip me naked, tie me up, spank and whip me?
That's not a question.
Yeah, not a question.
Yeah.
I tried not to inflect like a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Tori stepped 1 foot closer to Jade with a grin.
Amongst other things, the most surprising part of it that you'll find out that you enjoy it. You're a natural submissive, and in my opinion, a very beautiful and special one. I'm going to have you, make you my little slut slave, and you're going to thank me for it. I'll bet even know you're getting wet, just thinking about it.
Wow. Even though.
We're,
Even though-
we're still at school. The janitor's gonna come in like, I need some Windex. Excuse me, girls.
I got something you can mop up, sir. sorry, I take it back. I was trying to be funny. I take it back. I
That
regret
was something.
everything.
I'm gonna
really-
call the police.
Hi.
Jade stopped laughing, but she looked extremely amused.
Oh, Vega, you've given me so much to use against you. I'm going to have so much fun destroying you.
No end quote.
But you did. Okay, so again, this is this would. She should have been recording all this, but she didn't. But fine, if you tell everybody, like we'll probably believe you. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But either way, you have all this stuff, and then this happens, and I think this is a really weird way for this to go.
But okay, in real life, I feel like there's two options. Like, Jade is just like, oh my god, you weirdo, whatever. And she goes off with her
Turns around and walks
boyfriend,
away.
leaves. Or she goes out and she's like, Tori just said she was going to, like, dom me because I ruined her performance. And, like, apparently she's a mad kinkster. And then, like, either nobody cares or everybody cares from there.
Mm.
But then this is the third option that I never would have seen coming.
Sometimes you just gotta do this at school. You have a math test after this. Tori reached over and slapped Jade as hard as she could. No, let me start over. Tori reached over and slapped Jade hard as... Oh my, why is this
It's
such a
wrong.
hard sentence?
You gotta read every word at a time. It's just wrong.
Because it's phrased in a super awkward way, that's why.
Yeah.
Tori reached...
It's not you.
Tori reached over, and slapped Jade as hard on the ass as she could. Okay.
It's so weird. The idea of reaching over and slapping someone on the ass is already really weird to me.
You don't get, like...
You can't get that much power if
a
you're
wide...
reaching.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
you really have to be standing right next to a person to slap
get,
them
like, a
on the
good-
ass.
or like...
But
you
also,
gotta-
you're face to face with them. So she
Reached around.
leans forward and then, like, used her hand to pull... Like, her hand was slapping towards herself to slap Jade on the ass.
I don't know how to write this down, but I feel like this would have made Tori so much cooler. Okay, picture this. They're face to face each other. Okay. Tori grabs both of Jade's hands, like with her hands, so she's got her like handcuffed, pulls her forward to bend her over, lifts her leg up so she's over her knee, and then spanks her in like a really quick, fluid motion.
Yeah, but that's too hard for the author to write.
You would have to also turn...
Yeah, but if
Well,
you're
I'm
grabbing,
saying when you
but
pull
if you're
her,
grabbing
you can
wrist,
bend her.
You can put more force into one wrist, and that'll make the person turn. You know?
I mean,
Or like...
if you're gonna dom on somebody like who's been laughing at you and you want to seem threatening too, why not grab the wrist and put them up against the wall?
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to smack her ass right now.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
like a
not the
very
time.
like... Yeah, especially because like technically she has consented to nothing.
Yeah.
Right, like, so far, no consent has been gotten, so, like, a slap on the ass or a grabbing of the wrist or any of that is all going to be non-consensual anyway.
Because what is the phrase again? Safe, sane, consensual?
Jade at this point hasn't even agreed to anything. This is just Tori assuming.
She's been laughing at the idea.
Yeah.
She's like, hee hee, so funny. And then Tori's like, oh no, I mean every word I'm saying.
And then Jade continues laughing.
Yeah.
And then we
Then
just...
this happens.
Okay.
Jade let out a quick but tiny yelp of pain. Surprised, the goth just stood there with a hateful glare in her eyes. But otherwise, she said nothing.
I mean, what do you say at that point?
Get the fuck
Just-
off of me.
Like, what the fuck was that?
Thought I would give you just a bit of what you've been craving so badly. A good spanking. A sample of things to come. You are mine. Just jump for joy, and I'll bet you didn't even expect it.
don't touch me again.
Hissed Jade, her words full of venom.
Love that movie.
Tori looked very unimpressed.
Okay, before I read this, I'm gonna replace a few key words, and I want you to understand that this is the author to us, the readers.
Okay. Do we need to put like suspenseful music over this part?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. Depending on how she reads it, I might throw some suspenseful music
We'll
here.
see. The thing is, Jade, I know you better than... Oh, wait, sorry. Let me start over. The thing is, reader, I know you better than you know yourself. deep down, you're a submissive lesbian who's dying to be dominated, disciplined, and treated like the dirty little slut she is. I'll bet you've done some reading on some erotica fiction websites. You started in the straight area, but eventually something inside of you made you click on the lesbian stories. The one where a girl ends up as a dominatrix's slave are your favorites, like Billie Eilish.
Oh, no.
You tell yourself that you just like to read a good story, and you do read others, but those are the ones that get your blood flowing. You've been wanting me to take you since you first saw me, but I just let you keep being bad, letting you have enough rope, not giving you the satisfaction of crying a single tear. Today's your lucky day, as I'm giving you what you so badly want. You need a dominatrix, and now you have one. You're going to come... Oh, well, okay, and this isn't for the reader anymore. But you're going to come over at 7 p.m. so I can, well, punish you for starters. Then I'll begin to train you as a proper submissive.
Bruh.
I just want to say one thing. It's a
my
little
God.
weird for her to throw in that metaphor about, like, having enough rope. Because, like, isn't the phrase, like, enough rope to hang yourself? You're not hanging, like, this is...
I think she's misinterpreting, or, like, I'm assuming the author is a she, but, like, the author is assuming that phrase is, like, referring to, like, a dog on a leash or something, and it's like, oh, let me, like, give you enough rope outside so you can, like, still wander.
Or like
But you don't
cutting
give
you
a
some
d- you
slack.
I guess.
Yeah, letting you have enough rope. I don't know. I feel like it's mixed metaphors there a little bit.
I think
anyway,
they tried
any
their
other
best.
thoughts you have? Any other thoughts on that speech? It's the second dramatic speech that could have ended a chapter. Not as well as the first one, but it still could have ended a chapter.
I don't know. They just really, like...
I think the author's
Wait.
projecting their own,
Yes.
their own, like, yes,
Journey
this
of
is my type.
self-discovery.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If that's your journey of self-discovery, that's fine. As long as you're safe and happy, it doesn't really matter to what you do. But, like...
Maybe
I should
edit
also
this
say... Yeah, I will say, we're, goofing and having fun here. But, like, I will say, I think that this is probably the safest way to explore anything you're curious about. Just make a fan
Yeah.
fiction about it. So, like...
You don't have to share it, though.
I guess, yeah, well, okay, that's...
Because, Tina Belcher writes a whole bunch of erotic friend fiction, and she mostly keeps it to herself. And then
Also,
stupid
part of,
Tammy
like-
ruins her life, and Tina goes and is like, let me read the touching butt fan fiction to everyone in school.
Is this Bob's Burgers?
Yes.
Or what?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, who are these
Like,
people?
did this happen in
You
real
really?
life, Karina? And you're just replacing names.
Like, what
No,
happened?
you're just telling us about real people, first and last
Yeah.
name.
I know someone
just
in
like-
real life named Tina Belcher.
There's the problem though with sharing. The problem with like fan fiction that you write that is exploring a kink is that, especially with a kink that is potentially dangerous, you don't want to put ideas of how it works in other people's heads. Like that can spread misinformation in a way that you probably didn't even intend. Like, to you it's obvious that, like, I don't know what I'm writing about, but I'm trying my best, and, like, oh, I make mistakes, but, like, that's not obvious to everybody else.
Yeah.
And so somebody else might read this and be like, oh, this is how you start a BDSM kink relationship. Cool, I just confront my target.
That's kind of how I feel, and I think that this is probably honestly drawing from 50 Shades. That's how I feel about 50 Shades.
I was just
right?
gonna say that.
Yeah. And this feels very 50 Shades-esque. Which
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. One thing that is weird, like, as someone... I watched the first movie, read first book, started second book. I think of everybody associated with Kind of Friends, I have the most 50 Shades experience.
Yes.
And it was...
Experience?
With the
Probably
book.
not, but yeah. With the book, yeah.
Yeah, the most interactions with, like, the franchise, I guess. And, like, I think what I'll say that's interesting about that is, like, people in the BDSM community were just like, boo,
Boo,
his
tomato.
this is nothing. And then, like, everyone else was like, oh my god,
Freaking
this is
out.
so wildly kinky. But, like, me, as somebody who's, like, not really, like, a super kinkster or anything, but, like, I've been on the internet before. I've seen a porn. But, like...
Only one, though.
Yeah.
Well, just the one.
Did you see that video with kissing in it?
Oh, man.
I saw.
But...
My favorite part
that-
of
it
porn
was-
is when they kiss.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite part is the math.
My favorite part is the the big orange friend.
Yeah. These are just jokes for people who aren't here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, okay. So, but the thing is, it's very clearly just, like, someone's, like, very, like, tame fantasy.
You're talking about 50 Shades.
50 Shades. And, like, the thing is, too, though, like, with that, at the very least, the one thing I will give that this doesn't have is that nothing started until she agreed.
Right. Yeah.
Like, at bottom, he was like, okay, cool, we hung out for a bit.
Even if she didn't fully understand what she was agreeing to, she was at least thinking she was providing informed consent.
And he did sort of take his time to explain, sort of. I feel like she acted way more, and this is the same thing it seems like Jade's doing now. We'll see if that changes. I don't like this whole thing, like, you know, even if you have never, like, thought of yourself as someone into BDSM, like, you've heard of it. Certainly, you've heard of many kinks that exist. So, like, it stands to reason that one day someone would be like, hey, this is the thing that I'm into. And they're always so confused. Well, like, it exists, so, like, somebody's gotta be into it.
The ones that it doesn't make sense to me, like how stories will have this reaction of like, what? You're what? And then like, but the kink itself is something that's relative to the wide world of weird kink out there. This is not weird, right? Like being a dom and a sub, like the fact that it's common enough that people have it in their lexicon, even when they're not involved in the community, should tell you that it's relative to some other weird stuff out there, pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think the strangest kink I ever saw was, we were on DeviantArt, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I found it was a bunch of 3D renders, and the kink was, and they'd marked all of these not safe for work, even though most of them featured fully clothed people being lifted into the air, just above the other person's head. That's it. That was it.
That's gotta come from Dirty
Interesting.
Dancing. That's all I can think.
Yeah.
No, not lifted like that. I mean, like, lifted like they're doing poses, and, like sometimes it's one hand, sometimes it's both hands. Sometimes they're being lifted into a tree, or, like, brought down from a tree. But, yeah, it was, like, this character lifts up that character, and it's, like, two characters from different franchises, the ones lifting the other one.
Interesting.
Did I ever
But
tell
it
you
was,
guys
I-
that
it was marked
someone...
not safe for work?
Every image was marked not safe for
That's
work.
very interesting.
It's
Yeah.
new.
Now, if somebody was like, I'm going to lift you high into the sky, you slut, I would also have the reaction, huh? What?
Sorry? I feel like
The
some
fuck
of
did
those
you
words
just say
go
to me?
together.
Yeah. You formed a sentence. I'm sure you formed a sentence. I don't know what you said, because my brain can't process it, but I know that was a sentence.
Okay, let's get back to this garbage.
Jade fumed, and her whole body seemed to tense up, looking as if she was about to strike. Tori stood there Tori stood there, her arms crossed. There should be a comma here. Tori stood there, her arms crossed, but nothing but amusement looked in her face. This is hard to read.
Yeah. Tori stood there, her arms crossed, with nothing but an amused look on her face. As opposed to what on her face? Like, she has an amused look and a spider. Like,
You are totally nuts, Vega. Even if I was into this kinky submission shit, do you think I would actually submit to you? You're out of your fucking mind. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to bellow that, I guess.
Yeah, you're supposed to bellow that.
Jade bellowed.
There's not one exclamation point.
I mean, bellowed is such like, I don't know. There's no exclamation point, but like when you say bellowed, I imagine like you're hollering it like you're a dwarf recovering the mines of Moria. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean she bellowed it?
Just can you give us that reading though?
What?
Can you bellow that like a dwarf?
Oh God. You are totally nuts, Vega. Even if I was into this kinky submission shit, do you think I would actually submit to you? Not a question. You're out of your fucking
It
mind.
started to become Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, a little bit. It became a little Gilbert.
Yeah.
I thought about doing an accent, and then I thought, no, I can't do an accent that's like a dwarf or whatever. And also, my blind neighbor is probably hearing me right now.
That's true.
Hello, neighbor.
I love
Tori
that game.
chuckled. Look at,
Right.
we're such gamers making fun, quirky references. Tori chuckled and stepped closer to Jade as a confident look came to her face.
Submit to me, Jade. You already have.
Jade shook her head with a look of angry disbelief.
Now I know you've lost it. You're fucking crazy.
I know you know. Just leave,
I know,
Jade.
why are you here?
Go away.
It's the
I
janitor's
wanna
closet,
shake-
not jail.
I understand why Tori had to spank her. Like, I want to shake her arm. Like, look, get it through your head. Either leave or you're in this now. I don't know.
You're not going to convince her she's not doming you.
It's all part
'Cause
of
you've
the
been-
dance.
I
mean,
guess so.
I mean, this is basically the same way that, like, when you're interacting with an online troll, if the more you respond, the more they're gonna be like, hey, I got you to respond. And it's like, this is not, you're not winning by
But, like,
sticking around.
Yeah, this has been like 20 paragraphs of Jade just being incredulous.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, this is a totally unrelated note, but a look of angry disbelief is my face all the time as an atheist.
Oh, where are we?
Oh, this next sentence, I love this.
What the fuck is going on here on this day? Tori simile widened.
Yeah. A comparison with like or as. But it's
But
wide
it got
now.
bigger.
Yeah.
It got bigger.
whoa.
Whoa,
We
it's
added-
so funny.
We added more likes and more asses.
Yeah.
Wow. Tori simile. Now with more likes.
It was a look of supreme confidence that Jade had never seen before.
Supreme.
If was indeed fucking crazy, as you so succinctly put it, or wrong, as it were,
What?
then you would beat me.
Everything about this sentence is terrible.
The
It's-
author
if it-
has entered the famous one-hand land.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like like in my interpretation, I feel like Tori abruptly has like a bubbler pipe in her hand, like
That's my bubble
yeah,
song.
like yeah, it's very good. If was indeed fucking crazy, like what is this?
Like, it
And
doesn't-
so you see.
and like you can't just like it's like you've got to it feels like an AI tried to be smarmy and like just smushed a bunch of smarmy sentences together
this written by
into something that
AI?
doesn't really make sense. If was indeed fucking crazy, as you so succinctly put it, or wrong, as it were.
God.
What does that mean? Why did you add or wrong, as it were?
Oh my god!
I'm having a mental breakdown.
It's okay, so was the writer.
Oh,
Then
the
you
author's
would've
having
beaten-
something else.
Then you would have beaten me to a pulp the second I slapped your ass.
I mean, that would have been self-defense.
Wait.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. What?
So the reasoning is Tori slapped her ass, and if she wasn't actually a sub, then she would have put up a fight, which, as I say it out loud, is clearly victim
Yes.
blaming.
Oh wow. Yeah, at first I was thinking, it's so weird. I didn't think about it from that angle, but yeah,
That's
no,
straight up
yeah,
victim
that
blaming.
is
'Cause
just
this is physical assault, and then blaming the other person, saying they were asking for it.
Yep.
They were literally submitting. They were asking for it because they didn't fight back.
Oh,
That's blaming
yeah.
the victim.
Ooh, that's so icky. Like, it's already... Because
It's already icky to, like, start asserting that you're going to dom someone.
Who did not ask,
I mean,
like,
this
if
is-
anything...
You guys have never even been in a relationship before, let alone broached this topic.
This is straight
So
up.
they're
It's
already
already
lines
sexual
crossed.
harassment.
Yeah. Like, even without the physical assault, it was sexual harassment already.
Like, and this, I'm not trying to be, again, this is such a weird story. I'm not trying to be like, Jade had it coming. But, like, okay, so Tori right now is victim blaming Jade. Like, you asked for it. You pranked me during my performance,
Oh, if you didn't
so obviously.
really want this, you would have beaten my butt.
But then Jade did stick a camera in Tori's room, hoping to see something worth it. So,
But no, here's the
Is
difference.
this-
Here's the
okay.
thing. Tori, as we'll find out later, comes from a long line of doms, right? So it's not like this is a reaction to what happened before. Everything Tori's saying about her previous behavior is true. She did plan all this out. She did see Jade as a sub-to-be this whole time. If this were a reaction, you could say it's a very poor reaction to what happened to her, but it is a reaction. It is in some way sort of a response, a defense. But it's not that.
No.
This is a response that is also a planned assault.
right.
I think this
Gross.
author is bad.
Now that's a
think-
hot take.
I think already
Well, as you so
episode 1, the
succinctly
author
put
is
it.
bad.
Yeah. Or wrong, as it
Yeah.
were.
You know, how many episodes of Silver's Return did it take for us to be like, this author is bad? They are a bad person. Like a good, like...
I don't think we ever got to this author is a bad person until the very
Yeah.
end, maybe.
This is episode
Nah.
1.
No, again, in retrospect, I feel like maybe it would have been better to just say, not doing good things. You know, like, I don't know, mistakes and being bad are not the same thing.
Yeah, I'm still...
I don't know. They wrote about like a really like disgusting thing, and we're like, it's so cute, and I'm like,
That's
that
true.
feels bad. I think you're a
That's
bad person
true.
if you think that.
Yeah, at least this author is like, this
I
is...
guess there's potential for reform, but yeah, the author who wrote that, yeah, I would say probably bad.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
that they have
At
since
least-
changed, because they were
Yeah, let's hope so.
not a grown person when they wrote this. This person, I don't know. They could be
Yeah.
48 for all I know. Watching Victorious and going, I know what I'm gonna write next week. I have a
you
good
think
story
maybe-
I
idea.
see the subtext here.
Do you think maybe Schlotsky himself wrote
I
this?
would not be shocked if that was revealed.
I
If
don't
we found that
wanna...
out, we'd be like, oh,
I
check
don't-
Oh, that's another video we gotta scrap.
Yeah, I don't want to put that out to the
Yeah.
universe. Like, Schlotsky
God,
doesn't
if you
know
can
about
hear
this
me.
story. Schlotsky never looked at this story. I would never wish such a thing. That's
Hey, Nickelodeon, I've got a great idea for a TV show.
because that saying that Schlotsky wrote this is, I think, worse than you just yucking someone's yum.
Yeah.
I would say.
That's an insult to all involved.
Yeah.
Man, I sure do
Okay.
hate Schlotsky. What
Yeah.
a stinky, stinky man. Oh god, where were we?
The angry look.
Oh, there's so many angry looks. The angry look quickly melted off of Jade's face, much to Tori's delight. On top of that, the goth's whole body began to stiffen slightly.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe it's justified that she's calling Tori the Latina, because when she calls Jade the goth, she means like Visigoth.
Wow. I don't think that
She's capitalizing
justifies
goth.
it. Yeah, that's an interesting observation.
Yeah, from the goth
I'll definitely
family.
put it in my notes.
Bella and Mortimer
Interesting.
Goth. More game references. We are so cool. Tori then leaned in.
Among Us.
Oh, God.
Amongst us.
Amongst Us.
What did we watch the other night?
Huh?
Alien Warfare.
Oh, yeah.
We lost it when he came out in the full
You saw the
suit.
portal and...
No, when he had the, like, spacesuit on.
Oh, yeah.
We're all like,
a good film.
guys, it happened Among Us. Oh, God. Andrew definitely has to tell you this, but some children made an Among Us joke to him when he was at work. And he was very upset. Tori then leaned in and whispered in Jade's ear.
Instead, you took it like a good little slut. Not only that, but you're gonna watch me leave and not do a damn thing.
I'm reading this next sentence. Tori reached forward and slid a finger just inside the waistband of her pants. One finger, everybody. Keep this in mind.
Waistband.
Yo, waistband.
That's so gross.
Ew.
Waist.
What
Band.
the fuck?
Just like where her belly button is. Just
No,
in
no,
there.
no, no. No. Wrong waist.
Oh.
That's the band that keeps her waist in.
It's a diaper.
Yeah. You know, that would be a hell of a detail to just, like, not mention until now.
Oh, God. What was that
Another
one
kink.
fucking SDC story where, like, they gave, like, a warning ahead of time. They're like, there's Fuda in this story. And then you got to, like, the last chapter. And then just, like...
And there was no food.
No, there was. Because it was just, like...
Oh, right. Yeah, there was suddenly
Yeah.
some food. Yeah.
Suddenly
just,
Fuda.
like... It just, like, mentions it, like, this character has this. And just, like...
Yeah.
The other person in the story didn't make a
that
deal
was,
out of it.
I think it was the hunter, and like for some reason, after writing, they took Nanoha and then made a Blade ripoff of Nanoha, and then like out of nowhere, they just all have big schlongs, and it's like, oh,
Oh,
okay,
it's this type of story. Cool.
yeah, okay.
Also, is
And
that
then
the,
they put him
is that the
away, and then
same
it never
character
comes
from Yoimune? Is it the same?
Yep.
Okay. I still don't know a goddamn thing about the anime that was supposed to be about.
The long and short of it is, it's magical girls, they're little girls, and every time an enemy shows up, instead of killing them, they become a friend.
Aw.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like the kind of friend anime.
No.
If we were anime girls, it would be us making friends with the people
Yeah.
who are bullies.
To be fair, that's pretty much what happens in Dragon Ball Z as well.
Oh yeah, it is, huh?
Yeah. Vegeta, Piccolo, Majin Buu, the androids.
But not all, like, the
yeah.
big bads, you know,
Not all the big bads. Yeah, Cell got destroyed, and yeah,
Frieza.
yeah. Yeah. Cooler.
Okay. Am I
Yeah, it's your
still,
dialogue.
Am I? Yeah, my question though is, am I still whispering in Jade's ear?
Don't whisper, just read it.
Okay. I could've. I was willing. Tell me, Jade, if I stick my hand down there, will I find you've gotten all wet? Excited by the prospect of being my slave?
I'm still imagining her, like after all this time, she's, like, criticizing Tori for being crazy, but she's walking around school at high school with a
With the
diaper.
diaper.
Yeah. Maybe with a jipe?
Maybe she needed
Listen,
Like a
it.
goth
no
jipe?
shame if you need incontinence
Period
products.
pan.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But just like
Period panties didn't exist
Yeah.
yet. We don't know what's going
yeah, she
on.
doesn't have those.
I mean, no. I think no shame if you have incontinence problems. Also, no shame if you choose to wear a diaper as a fashion statement. That's cool.
Yeah, if you wear a jipe,
Especially a
that's
denim
cool.
one. Like a denim one, like a jean diaper, a jipe. Hell yeah, dude.
New fashion.
You're in my
trends,
squad.
fashion predictions for 2023. The jipe is
Yeah.
gonna be huge.
The jipe is gonna be huge at Coachella this year. I can tell.
Tori pulled her hand back.
I don't have to confirm what I already know, Jade. I already own you.
Jade stood there silently, obviously trying to show no emotion. So, oh fuck, oh, no emotion whatsoever. Tori could see none, not even in the goth's eye. She was a tremendous actress, Tori thought, but Tori could see just the tiniest quiver from her lower lip. Confident she had won, Tori kissed Jade on the cheek. Mwah.
Be at my house 7 p.m. tonight. Not 1 minute early or 1 minute late. Oh, and break up with Beck before you come.
I do like specifying 7 p.m. tonight. Like, yeah.
This is a time crunch.
Usually when you say 7 p.m., you don't have to explain that you mean tonight.
7 p.m. next Tuesday, if you don't mind.
Has anyone read
of
Things Have Gotten Worse Since We've Last Spoken?
No.
Okay, because like a big component of that is like it's a dom sub relationship between two women, and the premise is like prove to me that like you are worthy of my time. And so the tasks that the dom is giving to the other get more and more fucking crazy like as they continue their relationship. So it starts out like kind of like fun and sexy, and then by the end you're like, Jesus Christ, go to the hospital.
I was kind of hoping you were going to be like, they're just like a fun scavenger hunt.
Well, there is a scavenger
Like,
hunt at one point, but not for something fun. The prize is not
Get
good.
a signature from one person of each age between 20 and 40.
Find a salamander at the park.
Yeah, it's like, oh boy, we gotta go.
We did it. Yay. And then, oh no.
And then you go home and she doms you.
Oh.
It's like, good job. Now sit down.
It's a very good book. If you're okay with yikes topics, I think you should read it. All of that to say, just that like previous sentence just brought back all the memories of that book. And I'm like, oh shit. With that, Tori turned on her heel, just one heel, and walked out the door. Later that night, Tori had everything laid out for Jade's first training/punishment session in her room. On the table, there were some whips girl. There were some whips strapped
All right, let's
on.
start with a little bit of light BDSM. We're going to start with whips.
Yeah. Your first introduction to this type of activity.
Yeah.
One of the most, like, whack, ouch type of toys you
Yeah,
can
we're going to start with whips, and then we'll go to drills,
Yeah.
and then we'll see where it goes from there.
You know, people usually start with, like, very gentle sensory things, like, ooh, this is a feather, or, like, those little rolly things that are spiky. Maybe not this, just yet.
No! We go whips, then drills, then guns.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
We'll see how this goes.
Strap-ons, dildos, butt with
Plugs.
plugs.
They're dildos, but they're plugs.
Yeah. Oils and other assorted items of pain and pleasure.
Not pain.
Oh, plain. Plain and pleasure.
Plain and pleasure. The fine line between plain and pleasure.
That's definitely, I feel like that's a book by Girl Defined.
Oh, absolutely.
Can I just say, the fine line, the thing that lies exactly on that fine line between plain and pleasure is just like a joke that makes you kind of snort through your nose a little bit, like, like that's it. That's on the line between plain and pleasure.
Now, if I didn't know where the story was going, this line would make me go fucking crazy. Well, her mom's dungeon down in the basement had more equipment. Tori didn't feel right in using it. She wanted her own space to work in. Tori's mom, who was a dominatrix herself, had recognized early on that Tori had all the makings of a perfect dom, unlike Trina, who was a submissive.
No.
Tori not only had the talent, but very much wanted to be one, just like her mother. Though the only difference between the two was that her mother preferred men. Tori only preferred women. That's great. Good for you.
That's
LGBT rights.
That's not the only difference.
My questions are, I have so many questions about how this arrangement came to be. So, like, if Tori's 18 now, Tori's 18 now, How long have we been training with Mom in the basement?
Early on.
That's
How-
child grooming.
That's abuse. That's grooming.
do
That's
that.
How did you find out that your child had dom aptitude? Were you just like
when Tori,
walking?
when Tori and Trina were babies, they were playing with toys, and Tori like took one from Trina and was like, "No, mine." And her mom's like, "I know that one."
Alternatively, Mom just likes to take Dad for strolls around the living room in his gimp suit.
yeah.
And they were like,
is
I want to
puppy
play
mouth.
too.
Yeah.
I want to play with the dog.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just thinking
Okay.
about like when I was a kid, I demonstrated a talent for the piano because my parents put me in piano lessons. So maybe something similar happened to Tori, where Mom put her in dom classes.
That's not good.
Okay, I just had like such a
I think
weird...
I need to call Child Protective Services.
On myself, like what?
Like, okay, here's...
I'm just gonna lay down real quick.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh, my head hurts.
We're not even done with the first chapter. We've already murdered Bob
Yeah,
for one.
we're already dead.
We already had one tap out.
Yeah.
But, like, even people, like, in class, it's like, oh, did you bring your pet in, like, for show and tell?
Oh,
no,
God.
but I drew a picture of Rover, and then, like, the whole family giggles knowingly. Like, you weirdos. What's
Oh my god.
Or maybe-
No, even worse, it's like, yep, I brought in my pet, and it's her fucking dad.
Or like, oh, I drew a picture of my mom and my sister and me with the family pet, and it's just like a regular family drawing. Dad's just standing next to them, and it's like, what? Where's the pet? Oh, there it is. Points to the
him.
one drawn in black.
He's like, oh right, I forgot
so
to put
scary.
the puppy ears on Daddy.
Oh, no, how fucking scary would it be? Like, you're working with kids and you're like, oh, that's a beautiful family portrait. Oh, what's this black void in the corner? Oh, that's the pet.
Yeah.
Oh,
why
what's his
did you-
name? It's kind of hard to say because it's like, his name is like an ancient god, so it's
Yeah.
not really like, it doesn't translate to English very well. Also, I have to be careful with how many times a day I say it, because if I say it more than 3 times, he will turn into a hole and swallow everything he sees.
Oh my gosh.
You're like, that's great.
Hi, I need to have a
Frankie.
conversation with your parents.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on in your home?
Better to not know.
Yeah. But all the instruction in the world would have been useless without someone to train on. While Trina... Oh my fucking god. While Trina herself was a submissive, Holly Vega didn't want to encourage the sisters from getting together. Holly did have a line she wished not to cross. I'm so glad that incest is not
Lion.
okay.
I gotta
Yeah.
say that it does sort
I'm
of
gonna move
imply
it.
that they did go to places and like, okay, so no incest, but like, did Holly Vega help Tori
Think
find
about
a
it?
previous? No, help Tori find a previous sub to practice on.
While she was a minor?
Yeah, I
This
guess.
story is a nightmare already.
Yeah, because, like, you should have, like,
It's very experimental.
yeah, they
Yeah.
should have. It's just also weird, too, that, like, they're still finishing up at Hollywood Arts. Like, maybe you could have just made it, like, Hollywood Arts has
Is
a
a-
college.
Why
Yeah.
not? They just went to college. They just went to the same
They
college.
graduated. Yeah. They both went to Juilliard or some other art school.
They went to Oklahoma State University.
Yeah. Why the fuck are you dressed like you're auditioning for Oklahoma? But an arrangement was made. A fellow Dom and close friend of Holly named Kira Vaughn also had a submissive daughter. The daughter, who was socialite Alyssa Vaughn, had told her mother that she wished to be... What? Hold on. That she wished to trained to be a proper sub. I feel like some words are missing.
Or
There are.
yeah.
Just a couple. So Kira and Holly arranged for Tori to practice on Alyssa under Holly's instruction. This is not right. This is not good. It was all done very discreetly, but the women in Holly Vega's circle of fellow dominatrixes were all quite used to that.
Okay.
What?
right. What the fuck?
Excuse me? There's
This
just like this
sounds
organization of groomers in town who just all meet up.
I
Like,
guess it is Hollywood.
it's book club, but also we molest
We're
the
all
local
sex perverts.
children. Like,
Yeah.
what is that? Oh, no, it's fine. You see, it was 2 minors. I just supervised.
I think, oh god, what have we been calling him? Schlooby?
Schlotsky.
Schlotsky. I think he did write this. He was
Schluby.
like,
What you call him, Schluby?
Schlooby. It's gonna change every video.
Shimba.
Boobly-doo.
Shoopster.
Shahoopster, yeah.
While
Oh,
Tori
okay.
enjoyed her sessions with Melissa, Tori, with a lowercase t, and her didn't quite quick click. She was looking for that special someone. Of course, the moment that Tori laid eyes on Jade, she knew she had the one. She could see, I'm getting a headache and it's hard to read this.
Wait.
She could see plain as day that Jade, lowercase j, was a submissive lesbian, but very much in denial.
Yo, how do you, clock a submissive lesbian that well?
It's it's like gaydar, but also for a sub.
Yeah. Some
Do you
people
think-
have hanky codes, some people don't need it.
Yeah, do you think, there's such a thing as subdar?
The other thing too, and like I don't mean to be a broken record, but like the author did say that like Jade and Tori are of age. However, Tori knew from the second she saw Jade that she was the one. So we have to assume, right, that like she was with Alyssa before she saw Jade, or at least during that time, and was like, nah, you're not it for me, I want Jade. But that would be at the beginning, and Tori goes to Hollywood Arts her sophomore year of high school, so she'd be like 16, so she would have to have been with Alyssa before the age of 16. So
With
that's,
her mother supervising.
that's gonna be a yikes
Bad.
for me, is what I'm getting.
That's
at.
pee bad.
that was what I felt needed to be
I mean,
addressed.
Having an experienced dom nearby sounds like a safety feature to me.
Don't worry, my mom's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but denial or not, it with a capital I. Oh god, no.
Love that
No,
movie.
Pennywise, get out of here. Was love at first sight for Tori. Why are we doing, like, no capitals sometimes? She knew right then and there Jade was going to be her sub.
I'm under the impression this was like a phone fic.
Yeah. You can't be typing this up on the home computer.
Yeah.
Oh, this is you.
Oh, what?
It's the mom. You're everybody else.
Oh, right, I'm the mom. God. Alright.
Give
Let
us
me
your
get
best hot mom voice.
I don't have a hot mom voice.
How about
You gotta
a
come up
dom
with
mom
one.
voice?
Yeah. Oh, do cigarette mom.
Yes.
Yeah, cigarette mom.
Cigarette mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, yeah, here, give me. You were handing me a prop and then you just took it away from me. No, I need to look over this one. A sub needs her dom and a dom needs her sub. Neither is truly complete or happy without the other.
Yeah, that is what this woman should sound like. Given her lifestyle, her lack of being a mother.
I mean, her lifestyle determines her death style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She died doing what she loved.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, Tori checked the video camera. What the fuck is going on? Finally, Tori checked the video camera to make sure it was functioning properly. That's done. She was. What the fuck are we trying
Was that
to
the
say?
video camera that Jade put in her room?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
They're just other footage.
Oh god, that done, she was now ready for her expected guest. Tori went downstairs and looked at the clock. It was 6:37, so she knew she had a little time. She decided to have a glass of wine to relax her a bit. She's 18, she's not of legal drinking age. While fully trained, she was doing this solo and wanted everything to go perfectly. When Jade was properly trained, Tori could join the ranks of the rather exclusive club her mother belonged to.
Yeah.
It was a group of dominatrix that was from the area. They met socially, exchanged tips, sometimes subs, and generally watched each other's interests. They owed their private nightclub where subs were made to perform for the group.
So,
That's
okay.
good.
So for clarity, there's this club where Tori's mom is a member. Tori would like to join, I guess. She's gonna have her own sub, and they trade subs sometimes and make the subs perform for them
BDSM scenes, but it's like
for the
swinging too.
group. That seems really
Convoluted and not great.
that's slavery. It's slavery.
Yeah, it's sex
You know-
slavery.
Yeah.
Tori's mother knew that Jade was coming over, and the reason why. Being the proud mother, she arranged for the rest of the family to be gone so that her daughter could work in peace. Sitting with her glass of wine, Tori picked up the latest issue of Vogue and began to read. While she was slightly nervous about her doing things right, she wasn't worried about Jade showing up. She knew the goth would be there at 7 p.m. sharp. As the clock ticked closer to 7, Tori began to feel a building sense of anticipation. She could feel her nipples hard at the thought of having her way with Jade.
That's such a
Yeah.
specific thing to happen.
That's-
That's the thing too. Like this whole
that happens. But, like, that would not be the first thing
right.
I would go to in describing.
Maybe it's because I'm a guy, but I don't feel like I notice my nipples hardening, like without thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I think, but it
Like I might notice that they are hard and go, oh, they're hard, but like just like feeling them engorge with blood, like seems really strange to me.
Yeah, like the way it's written, it almost feels like she I just the
She's getting a boob
visual in
boner.
my yeah, it's like it almost is like she puffs out her chest and commences the nipple hardening herself.
Yeah,
like
like one
nipples
at a time.
activate.
One goes, and they engage.
Yeah.
She's a fembot.
Yeah, nipple hardening at 100%.
Yeah. Finally, Tori looked up and oh my god, let me try again. Finally, Tori looked up and the clock ticked to 7 p.m. exactly. With a smile, Tori got what? And walked to the door,
Yeah.
feeling much like a kid on Christmas.
Clocked, ticked.
Mm-hmm.
Clock ticked,
Past-
not like
past
it
tense
became
clock.
7 o'clock. Just as she knew, a few seconds later, there would be 3 knocks at the... Did she know, she's gonna knock 3 times? Was that agreed upon?
No,
I guess she just knew
knows
she
her
was
that
gonna
well.
be there.
Okay. Just as she knew, a few seconds later, there would be 3 knocks at the door. They were like music to her ears as she opened the door.
Everybody
As
knows
she-
subs always knock 3 times.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell they're a sub.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
they knock twice, top. 3 times, bottom.
Yeah, Doms always order boneless wings and knock more than 3 times.
Yeah.
Dom
And subs
knock.
can't drive.
See, I would argue. I say a dom knocks once, and
Yeah.
you better answer.
So you're saying it's just like
Fair.
one big boom.
It's yeah.
They don't knock, they just let themselves in.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
I'm
they
here.
just phase through the door. They don't
appear
need to
in
submit
your
to
house.
knobs.
The door just falls away.
Yeah, knobs are suggestions.
Yeah.
That's what a true dom simply disintegrates the door with their mind.
I like
This,
the idea.
this now feels this feels like a men with microphones podcast now, where it's like a true alpha doesn't knock.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a dom rolling up to their subs place and just standing at the door, then the door going, good heavens! It
Yeah.
falls open.
Gosh.
Just glare at the door.
Big old eyelashes on the door, too.
Blink, blink.
Please, please, your description is making my nipples hard.
Oh.
Please.
As she expected, Jade was standing there. Tori could tell she was nervous as she quickly looked to see if anybody was walking by. In fact, Jade had a rather lost look in her eyes. Tori smiled and stood in the doorway to show herself to Jade.
Oh my gosh.
Tori had showered.
How many times can we say that they're in the doorway?
We know. They're
A few
there.
more.
I don't know.
A few more times.
Like, how many times? Like, everything is so. This is, like, I just wanted to give you guys this first chapter so we could get a sense of what we'll be skipping over. But it's a lot of, like, they did this, and then they
It's
kept
there.
doing it.
Tori had showered, done her hair, makeup, and put on the rose oil she liked to wear. Jade eyes, not Jade's eyes. Jade eyes opened slightly as Tori stood there wearing a silk red Japanese style bathrobe.
Wait.
Bathrobe?
Yeah.
Also, her eyes were closed. Did it say her eyes were closed?
No.
They opened slightly.
No, it doesn't. I think.
Oh, no, she had a lost look in her eyes.
she couldn't see where she was because her eyes were closed. I'm lost. For a moment, Tori just stood there. Jesus Christ, get out of the doorway. For a moment, Tori just stood there with a smug look on her face as she eyed her new sub.
You guys remember when the chapter should have ended? Like, this could have been all
This could have been
cut.
done.
All of this could have been cut, and you could have just included in the end of the where this chapter should have ended. Like, meet me at 7 at my place, and then like cut straight to here.
Agreed.
It's a lot for a first chapter. Like, if you're reading, you're like,
It really
I am
is.
having sensory overload. There's so much information here.
Pacing is very
I think you mean
quick.
sensual overload.
Yeah. Oh, I'm overstimulated. Ew.
Do come in.
Tori purred as she stood inside.
Nipples engage.
Quick, get the cat so he can voice act now.
No, I don't want him involved. He's a little boy.
That's true.
He's
yeah.
our
He's also a
child.
cat. It's fine. You have to train him
Oh,
Oh,
oh
he's
no.
right behind
because he's an animal and he needs to know like how to
Who's the
behave.
dom and who's the sub in this relationship? Right? That's what you were saying.
Shane,
Yeah, of course.
Shane Dawson joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
I never
Yeah, doesn't-
domed my cat. I never subbed my cat.
Somehow I have become the omega of the household. Because, like,
Wait, the Omega?
yeah,
The
that's like, yeah, the bottom of the food chain in this
Okay.
household. There's
He
only
likes
the-
to attack her feet.
Sometimes
just
he'll
plain.
straight up pound.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, he still does it.
Yeah, he'll hunt her. He especially likes to hunt her when she's playing VR. Because he can tell she can't see anything. And then, like, I'll be, like, distracted for a second. And he'll be like, oh, good. Time to attack these
funny
feet.
prank.
Yeah, and she'll... It's the best.
He's such a goofster.
I don't like that you guys prank me, though.
I'm not contributing. I should be helping you. But I'm not contributing. I don't, like, point him in your direction.
No, but you basically high-five him.
No, I don't.
Basically.
I mean, he's a good boy.
And in your heart,
Yeah.
you both know
Yeah.
fives were exchanged.
Oh god, oh my cough. Jade hesitated for a moment and then stepped across the threshold. Okay. Interesting way of spelling door. Jade knew Tori knew that once Jade was in the house, the goth truly belonged to her.
I will
Once
say
Jade-
this.
Kind of like vampire rules.
Yeah.
I don't mean to stop us again so quickly, but like the threshold, the doorway, they stand there at the doorway, they look at each other at the doorway. I feel like instead maybe we could focus more on, because like it's fine, you know, like in real life, sometimes conversations take place at the doorway. So maybe we could focus more on, like, how Jade's feeling, because, like, she's stepping across the threshold. She knows that, like, things aren't going to be the same after this. Maybe, like, man, I just had to break up with Beck before I showed up here exactly at 7.
I love that
like,
that wasn't shown.
like,
Like, oh, we have to describe her nipples getting hard, but not, like, the relationship ending. That's not important.
it's also
I have priorities as an author.
And you know, I've read other works by this author that they're all too long to cover, so I think we picked the right
You could
one.
have just stopped it too long.
But like, hold on, what was I gonna say?
Also, can I just say real quick, the reason that Jade's relationship ending wasn't focused on is because she's not the main character.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
She's the object of the situation.
yeah, no,
Oh,
and
great.
like all the stories, Tori's always crazy and possessive. I have not seen one.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So this is not much of an experiment.
Well, the BDSM is.
Oh!
But like I told you
What?
in this other story by the same author, Jade and Beck break up. Tori meticulously plans things. She shows up with Jade's favorite food and her favorite movies. And it's like, what else were you here for besides trying to seduce her? But it was this weird long con. It was
Sorry,
like,
real quick, what is her favorite food and favorite movie?
I don't know. I think she ordered something from some Italian place, and then it was like the scissoring.
That's her favorite movie?
And canonically in the show, Schlotsky decided her favorite movie is the scissoring.
Of course.
The
it
more I
is.
learn about this man, the more I, like, want to curb stop him.
I thought you
The
were going
more
to say
I
something
feel
like,
like a violent rage.
she comes there with, like, applesauce and a copy of Mother Jugs and Speed.
Pretty close.
I gotta move it up.
Once Jade was inside, Tori closed the door and locked it. That's very predatory. Tori noticed that Jade seemed to flinch slightly at the sound of the door clicking. Sorry,
The
that's
lock
his lock.
clicking.
The lock clicking. Tori could... Didn't we just say this line?
Mm-hmm.
Tori could see that Jade was nervous and scared. But yet she came.
Not yet, she
knowing
didn't.
full well... Funny. Not yet.
And not just once.
A million times.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that her life as she knew it would change, it pleased Tori to no end. Tori walked over and grinned.
Shall we begin?
Not
I
a
just
question.
read the next word of dialogue. A moment later, Tori put forth her leg and exposed her foot. It was a stiletto high heel. Jade
Her
could see
foot
that
was
she
a
was
high
wearing
heel.
no pants.
Yeah. Her foot was a high heel.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's like, you know, sometimes you can get Barbies that, like, have the shoes molded to their feet.
Yeah.
She's
exactly.
like that.
It's like the splicers
She has these
in Bioshock.
Yeah, they got hooks on their feet, yeah.
Or she's like a brat doll. Jade could see that she was wearing no pants, but wasn't quite sure what exactly she was wearing.
What?
You can... You can start first by licking my feet.
Is this experimental or is this standard fare?
This has got to be
remember in the-
Schlotsky
For-
influenced.
For this
Do you know-
author.
This is
Oh, for this
definitely-
author? Oh, yeah.
Schlotsky wrote this.
They...
100%
The
he wrote
author
this.
usually, now, like, when we get into, like, the nitty-gritty of it all, I haven't noticed any foot stuff, but I will show you a few reviews that were,
I
like,
want her to kiss her feet more.
no, yeah, actually, that's,
no.
that kind
Schlotsky, get
Yes,
off your sock
spoiled.
puppet account.
Okay.
Do you remember in the bisexual episode, we just, like, went on a porn tangent, and you were like, you know, sometimes I always end up watching foot porn, because it's
Yeah.
more tender and nice. I feel like Kind of Friends is just kind of slowly becoming Nickelodeon with all the feet stuff.
Well, what I'll say, though, is, like, I I grew up watching this. So, like...
watching Nickelodeon.
I'm so glad you said, like, this is a Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
and
I
not,
thought you were
like-
about to say you grew up watching foot porn.
I mean, tomato at this point,
Yeah,
right?
honestly,
In
yeah.
retrospect,
Nickelodeon is just softcore foot porn.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Here's some stuff with feet.
I wonder if that Nickelodeon fighting game included foot stuff.
You know, I distinctly remember one of the time, like, you know how sometimes, like, Nickelodeon would be, like, orange slime, but sometimes it'd be other shapes. I feel like there is one where it's an orange foot.
Yeah, that does sound familiar.
That was their
to
logo
me.
for the longest time. Their logo was an orange foot.
Weird. Okay,
Hey,
let
you guys
me-
remember that time that... You guys remember that time... This is totally unrelated. You just mentioned slime. Do you remember that time that Katy Perry got slimed? And
Yes.
they slimed her so fucking hard that it looked like she broke her nose?
Yeah.
Why
She
did
fell
they
down.
do that?
I don't know.
Schlotsky just
They were
hated
trying to
Katy
kill
Perry.
her.
Was it a mistake? Like, I haven't, like, because
They
was
pressurized
so
the
forceful.
cannon to like 200 times what it was supposed to, and it just blasted her in the face with slime. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe, you know what? Confirmed it. Nickelodeon hates women.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
fair. Yeah,
Damn.
you heard it here.
That's true. Jade hesitated for a moment and slowly sank to her knees. Tori knew that... Why did I get stuck reading all the weird parts?
You volunteered.
No, I didn't.
You were asked to volunteer.
Tori knew that though Jade realized the inevitable, and she had... Oh my fucking god, this is so hard to read. Tori knew that though Jade
No, wait,
realized
wait.
the inevitable...
If you're actually
and
having
has
trouble,
submitted-
I can read it for you.
No, I'm okay, this is almost done.
Okay.
She knew that the goth would eventually resist. She would then think, oh my...
I'm just gonna read this paragraph.
Right, type with two
Okay.
hands, for God's sake, please.
I'm just gonna read the paragraph.
Okay.
Jade hesitated for a moment and slowly sank to her knees. Tori knew that though Jade realized the inevitable and has submitted, she knew that the Goths would eventually resist. She would when they got to the real discipline. But Tori both expected and relished it. It would be fun breaking Jade down and building back up into the lesbian slut she's wanted to be all along. My lesbian slut. And she'll always be mine!
No quote.
Author, you got a little too excited.
Schlotsky, you forgot to hit the quote bar.
I am so going to love this.
Tori thought. End
of
flashback.
Holy fuck, how much more is there
Wait.
in this chapter?
This chapter does not need to be so fucking long.
God.
Also, like, again, I remember that this was a flashback. She brought her to the tattoo. Here's what's happened in this chapter. Fun monologues and nonsense aside. Walk into the tattoo parlor. Jade bends over to get said tattoo. Tori's like, man, you're probably wondering how I got here. Then she takes Jade into the broom closet and says, I'm gonna dom the crap out of you. Come here at 7. And then that's...
She does.
Yeah.
And then they sucked toes.
So, like, you could literally have just made it end at the first monologue we said it should have ended at. And then you could have come back here. Because that's how it started.
Or
It
like,
didn't-
if you wanted to keep all of this, have this flashback, like, come back throughout the story. So then it's like,
Or-
ooh, oh, cool, we're playing with time, that's cool. But Schlotsky here is too much of a dumb fuck to do that.
Or don't start in media res. I don't care for it. I don't care about the tattoo plot part. Like, I really don't care.
They use it as, like, I don't... It's such a weird thing. But we're going to find out, like, how long into their relationship it's been, like, when we catch up with the tattoo parlor thing. And it is still unnecessary to me. But okay, let's just continue.
All the while,
Oh.
Kim worked.
Oh, I was just gonna do this from here.
Okay.
Alright. All the while Kim worked, Jade didn't show so much as a second's discomfort. Not only that she remained I hate their misuse of commas. Not only that, she remained perfectly still the entire time. I'm nearly done, Tori. You have her well trained. She didn't even seem to mind the pain in the slightest. Tori blushed.
Thank you. My beautiful pet has grown to love pain as much as pleasure.
What about plain, though?
Yeah. She loves plain pasta.
Mm-hmm. Not even butter.
No, just
delicious.
dry noodles.
No salt, no pepper.
Not even cooked.
Didn't even salt the water.
Yeah. No, there's no water. Dry pasta.
Delicious.
You'll have to bring her the club soon and show her off to the other doms. Then you'll really be one of us.
The club operates like a birthday bouncy castle, so they just like bring it to you and prop it up with the doms already there waiting for you.
Can you imagine like an inflatable BDSM club?
That sounds awesome.
so funny. I love that.
Actually, now that I think about it, what about like a traveling BDSM club that's like in the back of an 18-wheeler?
It's like a party bus.
Yeah, like a big party 18-wheeler that you like park in places and then you host a little party and there's like a private room.
A pop-up
What do we
BDSM
call-
club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
A
do we
mom
call
and
it?
pop-up BDSM club.
Maybe not the
Family owned.
Oh,
Family owned. Yeah. For kids.
Wrote Karina.
Oh no. It's episode 1.
Yeah.
How did we do this already?
Tori beamed with pride.
Oh, sorry.
You were fantasizing about our...
Yeah, I was
business.
planning. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Omaha and Tallahassee. These are the
Tulsa.
places. Yeah.
Step right up.
The sexiest traveling BDSM club from Omaha to Tallahassee. But don't go further west.
Yeah.
There are sexier clubs further west.
We got the Omaha
We got to like
market.
Omaha, and then we had to stop.
Too much competition.
That needs to be on the marketing.
Yeah, you can go east of Omaha, but like Middle America is pretty much where it stops.
Good afternoon, sharks. Have you ever wanted to go to a BDSM party in Omaha, Nebraska, but you just don't want to go to like a big fancy club? Well, I got you.
Well, as you might know, I travel through Omaha regularly, and there is a real lack of sex clubs there.
So I am asking for $41,000 in exchange for 20% of my business.
Come on, 69,000. It was right there.
That's what Maureen offers.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm thinking of Dragon's Den now. I don't. I'm so
They're the same
tired.
show. They're the same show.
I'm so tired. This story broke my brain.
I plan to. She's very special to me, and I can't wait to show her to my peers. Like my parents were very much in love. It's just like my mother. I'm the dominant one. We each know our place. We each have our function to serve.
This is how 18-year-olds talk.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
It's
show her
so
to my peers.
Grown men named
Okay,
Schlutsky.
this is something that, like, you guys won't remember by the time we get to this chapter, but I just feel like this is a good example of, like, why that in the future stuck out to me so much. So, like, at one point, Tori's mom says, like, you know, do you ever just, like, hang out together? Like, are you ever just, like, girlfriends? Because, like, since you got together, you're always on, and it's always like that, so maybe just like chill sometimes. And I'm thinking, like, I don't know, Holly, maybe it's because you raised your daughter to think this is how relationships work. Maybe she doesn't know how else
Dad's
to
on
be.
a leash right now.
Like, I know she's like whipping Dad, like, look, sometimes you just gotta let loose and relax. Did I say you could speak? She's my daughter now, not yours.
Yeah.
I just think you guys should like go to the movies or like go get a coffee or something. Or just like go to the mall, you know. Did I say you could speak?
Yeah.
I can drive you there if that's the problem.
Oh my gosh. Let me move it.
Okay. Ready, Tori. Oh, Kim said as she put her tools down. Tori practically lit up.
Let me see, please.
Tori stood up and walked around to view Jade's exposed ass. As her eyes fell upon the new marking, the Latina, smiled a smile that was half evil and half prideful.
We've come so far just in like the 2 hours that we've been recording where we were like, it's really bad that they're just referring to this character as the Latina, and now we're here. we have been on so many journeys throughout
now
just
it's full
this one
circle.
chapter. Now we're back to this.
She's marked as per your instructions. Do you like it?
God, yes.
Kim picked up a mirror. Shall we show Jade her newest tat? Tori went over and kissed Jade on the forehead.
Come on, baby. See your newest tattoo. It will say once and for all who you belong to.
Jade turned her head and looked in the mirror. Thought it was backwards. Jade could clearly... Blah. Thought it was backwards. Jade could see the mark clearly.
Do you like your new tattoo, Jade?
Tori purred. Jade took a second look at the new mark. That tattoo was that of a single rose, and above it was the letters. Tori's slut.
Yeah, those are
What a
words. They're both
tacky
just letters.
tattoo.
I really hope that the tattoo is capital T Tori lowercase s slut.
Yeah. It's actually in Arial font.
Oh, cute.
Italicized.
Yeah,
Comic
italicized
Sans.
with quotes. There are quotes around it.
Can you imagine if someone showed, they're like, I just got this really sick tattoo and it's like, I don't know, like a Bible verse or something, but it's in Comic Sans.
Yeah.
I also love the line, though it was backwards, she could see the mark clearly, implying that things that are backwards you can't see clearly.
Yeah.
They're invisible. Yeah.
They're blurry.
Mm-hmm. Jade was pleased that she had made Tori happy by having herself marked in such a fashion. Jade still couldn't believe how the Latina knew her better than she knew herself, as she now accepted her mind, body, and soul belonged to Tori. Jade couldn't help but smile.
Yes, Mistress Tori, I love it. Thank you ever so much.
They gotta go to school tomorrow.
Ever so much.
For now, I've left what Tori does to Jade in their first session, to your imagination. Feel free to let it run wild.
No,
but
thank
I
you.
do promise you will find out eventually. I just need to take some time to write it properly, so it may take a bit of time for me to get back to it. Please be patient. That, and I'm busy working on my Twist of Fate story. More of that first day with Tori and Jade in the next chapter. And there it is. That's chapter 1.
Let's see some
God
reviews.
damn.
Did they take the time to write this chapter properly?
Oh, that's a big review.
Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna go through a few.
Your business says, what the fuck am I getting into?
Fair. This story is about rape and abuse, not BDSM.
Thank you, Charles.
Yay.
Based
Based.
Charles Mate.
We love Charles.
In my opinion, I think you should have taken longer for Jade to submit, as well as show defiance to Tori. Not have her go from Jade to submissive slut with a flick of a switch.
Sam139 NYC says, post next chapter now, please. I'm tired of waiting, and I love this story. But please post the next chapter now, and then continue the story with more characters. Have Tori and Jade get in the club.
Somebody says, good stuff. Looking forward for more.
Metatron85. You have my interest in this story. You seem to be more interested in the dynamic of the dom-sub relationship over the actual
that's
sex,
where you're wrong.
which can range anywhere from kinky to scary, in my opinion. I will admit the whole part of Holly Vega teaching Tori the lifestyle was a little off-putting for me. But the line where she had to make it clear that Tori wasn't allowed to practice on her sister made me laugh. Jade is taking these circumstances quite well. Goes to show that she really is the type, apparently. In school, Jade came off as this domineering psycho bitch, but it was a very loud and almost cartoonish front. Tori gets inside your head and pants, making her the true manipulative one.
Oh god, there's this one. I don't know about this story, but I'll give it a go. I hope Tori generally does love Jade and not just see her as some trained puppy. It is very similar to your other story, but the roles are reversed. Let's hope Tori doesn't drive Jade to kill herself. Yikes. Yeah.
I hope so too, J. Hepburn. Well,
Bro.
oh, here's we go. Tori Gagged commented, would like to see Jade and Tori take turns being tied and gagged, wearing only stockings and garter. Love to see stockinged foot worship and dildo penetration while tied up.
Thank you, Tori Gag.
And then there's somebody who uses your little penguin icon down there.
Yeah, that's her.
Is that really you?
Yeah, that really is me from, all from 2014.
So good, and I loved how Tori was able to
Whoa,
explain
what are you
everything to
doing?
Jade.
What are you doing? Make her read her own words.
So good, and I loved how Tori was able to explain everything to Jade. I thought it was funny when it talks about how the mom had boundaries and wasn't okay with the sisters getting together. There should always be lines.
Girl at the bar was in hell in 2014.
I was very low. I was like, wow, but that's why, I remember this story, because I was big in the Jory fandom, and, this author is, a pretty big deal in the Jory.
I just gotta say, that earliest review there from Boris Yeltsin, you gotta write a pretty good story if Boris Yeltsin is the one reviewing. I remember when I wrote my first fanfiction and I got a review from Boris Karloff. That was fucking great.
Ooh.
Boris Yeltsin.
All right, well, that...
There's one more comment I want to read, just because looks like innocent Tori has a devious side and a dangerous one as well. I'm going to go and say that submissive Jade is kind of a bit like a slave/child. Invader Johnny signing off.
Yikes.
I don't like that.
Not giving the Invader Zim fandom a very good look there.
It's a bit of a no for me.
I love it when people are like, Invader Johnny signing off. The end of your comment wasn't obvious.
Yeah. Your account wasn't obvious either.
All right, well, that's this introduction to the real me.
The real you or the story the real me?
The story, the real me, and now you get to see the real us as the kind of friends. Yeah, 2014, the real me. The more we dive into fan fiction, the more I just self-report is what I've learned.
The more little baby Zax is creeping out of the woodwork, here's what I'm reading.
Yeah. Hi, I like reading this because it makes me feel tingles.
I
This
don't
was a good story.
Yeah. The grammar was bad, but I liked it.
I like that I like that it really did stand out to me. Even now, my feelings aren't. I don't feel like it's so good. I do love how Tori explained everything to Jade. Those monologues are mwah to me. And I do still think it was funny when it talks about how the mom had a line she didn't want to cross when she's already training her to be a doll. So, 2022 Zax is not that much different from 20. Just take off the first 3 words and it's...
And also, you now no longer think there should be lines.
Oh, there shouldn't.
That's the joke. I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, I'll cut that.
That didn't land at all.
I'm either cutting that or adding a laugh track.
I think we should just add laugh tracks to all of our videos now.
I think we should just add more Jordan Peterson.
Oh, that one video that somebody edited with him where it's like, I have never had sex. Because I'm not very good at it.
Why would I?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thank you guys for reading this with me, and thank you out there for listening. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, because we all need friends. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.